Sleep is a huge problem for parents. Matter of fact, Baby Center did a survey showing that it's the #1 complaint parents have, exhaustion, even more than not having enough money. And you know, if you go to the park, you talk to any new parent there and ask them, how did you sleep last night? They're going to tell you, oh my God, it was so hard. It's really something that parents suffer with. And it's not even just a joke. It turns out that sleep deprivation leads to all sorts of serious health problems: illness, depression, marital conflict, unsafe sleep practices. People sneak their babies in bed in unsafe ways, and even obesity. It's hard to lose your baby weight when you're sleep deprived. Even if you're eating well, your hormonal balance changes so that you tend to keep your weight on. So all of those things contribute to really ill health related to poor sleep. Well, the best way to have a good sleeping baby is to start right at the very beginning. And the two most important steps for parents are swaddling, that's snug wrapping with the arms straight down, and white noise. And the white noise has to be about as loud as a shower. And you play it all naps and all nights, and of course you can play it when they're crying too, because it helps to reduce crying. And I recommend it for the entire first year of life at least, because not only does white noise work in the beginning to turn on what I call the calming reflex, but then the white noise continues to help because it keeps babies sleeping better even through teething and growth spurts and people laughing in the next room, and all those other disturbances that tend to wake a baby up in the second half of the first year. Imagine this, if you had a crying baby in your hands and you want to shush them to quiet them. If they're crying, you go shh, shh, shh. But as they calm down, you naturally lower your pitch and you go shh, shh, shh. High-pitched sounds alert us. Sirens, alarms. Low-pitched sounds calm us, the rumble of a train or a plane. So to calm a screaming baby, that's why we say to turn on a vacuum cleaner or a hair dryer, because they're very high-pitched sounds. But for sleeping, you don't want a hissy shh type of a sound. You don't want to play it on a speakerphone, rather on a smartphone or a computer, because they have very tinny speakers. Matter of fact, a lot of parents say they can't sleep with that type of sound. You want a rumbly sound like rain on the roof. In fact, we've made a CD of specially engineered sounds where we decrease the high pitch and we amplify the low pitch, so it's more like what babies hear in the womb. And that's what you can play all night. CDs are great because you can use them in the car, you can use them when you travel. They're very, very convenient to use. All of us have sleep cycles. We go into deep sleep and light sleep like this. And for babies, it's about every hour they have a cycle. So it turns out that this baby's waking up about every other cycle. It's hard to believe that she's really hungry in the middle of the night. So probably she's just kind of nosy. There's something I call the 4-month time bomb, which is that parents say, my baby slept great for the first 2 months, and now she's a devil. She's waking up 3 or 4 times a night. The truth is, all babies wake up at night. All adults do as well. We wake up 3 or 4 times every single night. But you don't remember you wake up unless there's something very different in your environment. Like if you smell smoke, or your pillow's on the ground, or someone's breaking into your window, you're going to wake up all the way. With babies, if you put them down in bed asleep, so they're asleep in your arms, you just slide them in bed. When they wake up in the middle of the night, suddenly, whoa, it's a big change, mom's not there. And that tends to make them get upset and call for you. The nice thing about white noise, especially you start it early, but you can start it at 4 months too, is that the white noise becomes like a teddy bear of sound. When they wake up in the middle of the night, they hear that familiar sound which was there when they went to sleep. And so it feels more natural to them. It feels more familiar, much easier for them to fall asleep, even if mom isn't there. During the feedings during the day, put the white noise on during those feedings too, because 4-month-olds get nosy. They're distracted by every little sound. So sometimes they seem to be eating well, but they're really only snacking. And then they save their hunger for later on. So get more of the good feedings in during the day, and that'll help the sleeping at night. You know, we did a survey with Baby Center and found 1/3 of the kids 1 year and older are waking up during the night, or they're fighting sleep. That's really the biggest problem that happens. And so, and that's why I made the book for the first 5 years, because even if your kid does well in the first year of life, doesn't mean that they're not going to have problems later on. So one of the things, of course, still the white noise is a good tool, and starting sleep before bedtime. So put the white noise on an hour before bedtime and start dimming the lights an hour before bedtime, because to go from bright lights or computer screens to total darkness is really strange for little kids. And then finally, make a Betty Bye book. Make a book with pictures of you brushing her teeth and putting on the pajamas and reading stories and going to bed. And start that, practice with that during the day, so that she can anticipate what each step is of the nighttime routine, so that it's more familiar for her, so she's less likely to resist it. There are many, many more ideas that are in the book that I can't go into now, but you'll read a whole big section about that in the new book.